Hey guys, welcome back to another video by me, Blute084 Art and Games. And in today's video we'll be showing you this thing here, which I opened up and did an unboxing video for you to check out what tablet I have bought myself. And if you want to go and check that video out, you can do, because it has been released a few days ago. So go and check that one out. But in this video I'm going to be showing you how you can use it in a particular way, what you can use it for, and if you're using a mouse, benefits of not using a mouse and using a drawing tablet too. If you've got a budget, it is quite a good one to get for budgeting. But otherwise guys, hopefully you will enjoy this video. If you're a fan of art, then keep watching. If you're just starting out and you want to know what program I'm using to draw, it is Krita, or Krita, K-R-I-T-A. And you can find out more about that in all of the other videos that I do. And don't forget guys, I do this live on Twitch, and this is just a video for you guys here on my YouTube. Otherwise, let's get on with the video. I'll show you how to use the tablet that I unboxed. Let's get on with it. Okay, so like I was saying, we're going to be turning another picture that we've drawn on paper, scanning that one into the computer like I've shown you in previous videos, and going to be digitizing. This time I am going to be using that tablet that I showed you at the beginning of the video, and again if you want to check it out you can see it in the unboxing video to see exactly what you get with what I'll be using. I found using a pen doing this part really does help than using a mouse, because previously when I was using mouse I couldn't quite get my lines straight, and some of the things were a bit of a problem for me. But yeah, we're getting on to this part now. You can see all the tools that I'm going to be using in the bottom right of the corner of the screen. And if again, just above that, if you want to check out all the different layers that I am using in this, then don't forget, if you're going to be putting layers in, don't forget to name them, because it does get confusing later on when you're doing the colouring and the auto-clipping masks and all the extra other stuff that's going to be going on in this video. And again, this one's going to be a bit lengthy. It's about 30 to 40 minutes, so strap in and yeah, sort of. If you're here to learn, then cool. If you're here just to find out what I get up to over on Twitch, that's twitch.com. I do all of this live. I don't speak so much over on that one, but I do everything that I'm doing a lot slower than you can see here, and yeah, everything gets done over there on the Twitch channel. Again, it's Blute084 Art and Games, same name, different place, and that's Twitch. Listen, right now we're on YouTube. So yeah, we're going to be sort of just going over the main part of the body, so I'm outlining everything. Again, I've put a layer on top of the main picture you do. I don't always do the coloured version. I don't always colour the main thing. What I normally do is just sketch it out on the piece of paper. Either take a picture of it or use the scanner if I've got one available. Normally I don't have a scanner available, so what I've been doing is taking pictures of the thing, readjusting them so that the right size to what I want on the page, and then also add another layer on top, and then a few more layers later on, as you can see in the right of the corner, or the right middle there, with the way the layers there. But yeah, I'm going to sort of overlap and overline the main picture. This is also another opportunity, if you do not like the original, because I didn't like the original completely, to change a few things. So you can add a few bits here, or to get rid of something that you don't like. If you want to digitize it, you can add a lot more different effects that I can't really do on paper, so this is why I like to digitize things. Again, I wasn't really happy with all the colouring, so I'm going to be changing a lot of that later on in the video. It's not the best, I wouldn't say, colouring job, but I'm still learning. But again, the pen that I'm using, the digital pen and tablet, is one of the best that I've had a go at. So I'm going to get around to digitizing all of this, or outlining the whole thing. While that, I'll leave some comic story in playing in the background, and you can find out more about Zombie Spider-Man, or that kind of What If universe. If you are a fan of that, fan of what Comic Storian are and what they do, go and check them out. It's Comic Storian. It should be written at the bottom of the screen. You go and check out. Hopefully I would have linked it at the bottom. If you haven't, then ask for that link and I will definitely happily put it in there. I haven't already done that one. But yeah, Comic Storian are one of the best things to find out all about your comic needs and keep up to date and knowledgeable of what comics that you want to buy or anything else. Otherwise, I'm going to leave you with them and get to this part. This is about an hour and a half's work, and sped up for you. But again, I've sped it all up for you, so you won't have to watch an hour and a half. So yeah, let's get that done, and hopefully you'll enjoy.
Welcome to the Complete Story series, where I take trade paperbacks and single issues, and I break them down into digestible bites to help you understand. Then I read them dramatically back to you. All alterations to the panels, text, and images are to prevent copyright problems, and all art is owned by its respective companies. Now, we've been doing a side tale about the Deadpool zombie and what it's been doing during the whole Marvel Zombies thing. But what about the original zombies? Before all this alternate dimension stuff and everything that was happening with the Deadpool zombie head and all that kind of stuff, there was zombies including Spider-Man and the Hulk. They had Captain America and Iron Man, and they all got cosmic powers and then were teleported away. So who survived? Who's still there? And what's going on? This story shortly begins after the events of Marvel Zombies 2, when Cortez tricked the zombie.
Okay, so I've done the main part of the Spider-Man. I'm just adding in the spider now. Don't really like the spider and where I put it. But I'm just sort of doing it rough. I'm doing this quite late in the evening as well, so I've sort of gotten like, kind of enough. Don't really want to do it. I'll just do the last little bits and I'll go to bed. I do move on to the background. Again, I'm just using tools. You can't see them. They are, if you are using Krita, they are in the top left-hand corner, but you can't see them in this actual video. I keep forgetting to put those in when I do this. But I'm putting in the background, and again, they're on different layers. Different parts of the backgrounds are on different layers. You've got the main sketch of the character and the lines I'm putting in here. I thought I would add the colour to it, because these are actually veins. They're not actually webbing, because in the zombie universe, or when everybody is a zombie and Spider-Man is a zombie, he actually uses his veins, which I think is absolutely minging. But he uses his veins to swing around. I don't know how he actually uses them to stick to a wall, but you know, that's what they decided to go with. He uses his veins to swing around, so I thought it'd be cool to make his web out of some veins. And putting these railings in. Again, my sketch work was a little bit off, so I'm using the straight line tool. Don't know the actual name for it, but I call it the straight line tool, to get all of that done, so you can see the railings and all the sidewalk. And later on we'll be doing some buildings as well, the same thing. Those shape tools are extremely helpful, so if you do have a struggle with doing any straightened lines, then definitely check those and do those and use those to your best ability. I don't usually use too many of the tools on the left hand side of the creative file. I just generally use my hand and see what I can do with it. But yeah, there we're going to put into the background with the square tool. Squaring out things. I'm actually taking off a little bit of each of the building because I wanted them to make them look a bit crumbled and broken down, because this is a universe where everything's gone to chaos. It's more of a apocalyptic look to that. And while I do that, listen to some more Comic Storian.
Teleported them off to a different dimension. On Earth Z, zombie Peter Parker tries to tell Cortez not to do it, but before he can finish his sentence, he sees that it was too late. He looks around to see a new, vibrant world, unpolluted by his kind, and he decides that it's time to try and find the others. He leaps off the building, and with the loss of his cosmic powers from changing dimensions, he uses his veins to swing through the city. With no one in sight, Peter reads the newspaper and sees that not only did he get sent to a different dimension, he was also sent back in time. Around the time that this world's Peter Parker was in college. But also that this is the time when mob leaders were also trying to decipher a tablet that reveals the key to eternal youth. That's it, he shouts, ripping the paper. If he can get that tablet first, he can rid himself of this curse. He will no longer be a zombie. Over at Empire State University, zombie Peter is looking down at his younger self and Mary Jane. But this time, instead of eating her, he decides that he must save her. Suddenly, an explosion goes off, and the Sinister Six begin their attack to take the tablet. Zombie Peter begins to smell Kraven's scent, but he decides that he must control himself. But those jungle herbs, they make him want to feed. Peter jumps on Kraven and he begins biting and ripping at his throat, and everyone just stops. And one by one, Peter begins killing the remaining members. First, he punches Mysterio through his dome, pulling out his brain, and then uses Electro to electrocute Doc Ock. Vulture tries to get away, but Peter jumps up, ripping his arms off, and then he uses them to cut Electro's head off. Last standing is Flint Marko, and he shouts, "What are you doing? You're breaking all of the rules!" And he runs away. Inside of the university, Kingpin grabs the tablet, but seeing Peter taking out the Sinister Six, he decides that it will be him who finally stops Spider-Man. Kingpin jumps into attack, and Peter lunges at him, and chomp, chomp, chomp. Kingpin didn't stand a chance. Elsewhere in the alley, Flint continues to run away when this world's Peter Parker swings in, telling him, "Not so fast, Beach Boy." Flint looks at him and begins beating him down by punching his face into the ground. He then tells him, "You want to eat people, huh? Then eat this!" And then Flint begins to fill Peter with sand, so much so that his stomach becomes bloated and fat, and then pop, he explodes. Back at the university, Zombie Peter continues to feed on Kingpin, and he thinks maybe he should just feed on the bad people. That way, innocent, but then he turns and sees everyone that he bit killing all of his friends. Peter gets up killing all of the villains again, shouting that he was going to save them! What a joke he is! He's no superhero, not with this face. He then starts to rip this.
Okay, right, so we've got all the background basic shapes done. All the colours that, all the things that I wanted to put in and what colours I wanted to do that. You can't really see the coloured, how to pick that, but you'll be able to find that once you've got the your own app opened. I wanted to make the spider web look like a spider web instead of just a load of stringy veins, as like I said. But I also wanted to look like his veins, so I'm sort of doing vessels for his the veins, as well as doing a sort of look like a web, trying to make it look a bit fleshy, like trying to make it look a bit a bit more minging. So I'm adding a little bit more colour to it, adding a little bit more here and there to make that look more like veins instead of a load of webs. I think it looks good. A little bit of blue makes it look like veins in your actual body, because they're not red, they're not pink, they're actually a little bit blue as well. Yeah, we add a little thing in, adding a little bit of detail here. This is what now it's another layer. Again, you can see in the right corner, right middle, where I'm going to be adding a little bit of extra little detail. Again, we're on another layer. Add all these bits, get all of the little details that later on we'll need the extra layers with shade things if we need to do that shading.
Head exposing nothing but muscle, stating, "Wherever I go, there won't be a hero, I'll be a monster." Up on the blue side of the moon, the Watcher decides that it is time that they must transgress their sacred oath by not interfering with the worlds. But as he goes to contact the other Watchers, a shadow looms over him, and giant man Hank Pym, who's a zombie, bites down, stating, "I'm lucky that we were teleported away. Now I can eat the entire multiverse." 2 years go by, and Hank Pym finally figured out how to teleport himself back to Earth. In this world, Tony Stark became a drunk who started to lose control of his company. On his desk, though, a device alerts of a cross-world breach down in the basement. But because of its condition, it shorts out and catches fire. Tony mentions that that device is something Reed Richards found in the Watcher's lab, but had no clue what it was. Happy decided to check it out and heads down into the basement, but as he walks in, he notices some stalactites. Just then, Hank bites down on him, telling him, "I know the device is here, now you'll lead me to it." Happy begins walking back into the lobby and begins biting everyone until Rhodey blows away his head. But while the zombie infection spreads, Tony and Pepper sit in Tony's office trying to figure out if this is what the device warned them about. Still unable to make out what it is, Tony tossed it in with the rest of the scrap metal and decided that it was time to have one last drink over in the men's bathroom. Rhodey finds the Iron Man suit and begins blasting his way to Tony's office. As he walks in, he sees Pepper being attacked, and Tony just drinking. Rhodey goes to fire another blast, but since Tony forgot to charge the suit, he just smashes in the zombie's head. Rhodey asks if Pepper's okay, and as she turns, they see the infection is already turning her, and Tony throws up in her face. She runs away screaming, and Rhodey asks, "What was that?" And Tony tells him, "Actually, this vodka is supposed to be a cure for cancer. It has millions of nanometer-sized machines suspended in sterile alcohol. Though it never worked in trials, it seems to be tearing the disease apart. Only problem is the zombies have to ingest it." Rhodey then plugs the suit into the charger, and Tony tells him that it will take hours. Hours that they don't have. So he's gonna have to get into the factory wing so they can get the speed charger. Zombies begin to shuffle into the office while Hank sneaks in to grab the Watcher's device. Tony says that as of now, Rhodey will be Iron Man, and he finishes his drink while the zombies begin to eat him, telling them to go on. He's full of nanobots. Rhodey blasts his way to the factory wing and he grabs the speed charger, telling everyone Iron Man is here, and he's on his way to help. 2 more years pass, and in Tokyo, Kitty Pryde begins to meet up with Logan as hand ninjas begin to attack. She runs down the alley and she sees Logan, except that it's not this world's Logan. Zombie Logan lunges forward, but Kitty phases, and Logan rushes through her into the hand ninjas and begins tearing them apart. Once he's done eating, he turns back to Kitty and then is shot in the face with webbing. Zombie Peter Parker grabs a hold of Logan and slams him into a wall, telling Kitty that this is about to sound corny, but come with me if you want to live. Peter leads Kitty to his lab, explaining that what she saw was a zombie. He goes on to tell her about how he came from a different dimension where the zombie virus surfaced, and it spread across the world, killing everyone. Zombie Logan was teleported here and has since been feeding on people unchecked, but with his research, he has created a vaccine. It won't change him back, but it will save him, dampening his appetite. The virus overwhelmed Zombie Logan's healing factor to create the vaccine. He will need this world's Logan's blood. Back outside, Zombie Logan finds himself fighting with Sunfire as he's thrown into the underground fighting rings. Iron Fist looks at him and asks what's wrong, and Zombie Logan pops his claws both through him and Sunfire's head, telling him, "I'm just fine." Then a voice calls out to him, and he turns back to see this world's Logan walking up to him. Over in Peter's lab, he continues to explain to Kitty about the vaccine, but the flies are starting to bother her. He is still a zombie. She looks around to see where the flies are coming from, and phases through to see what it is, and finds body parts hanging from the ceiling. She pushes herself back out, and Peter tells her that he wanted to spare her. He then takes off his mask, telling her, "It's time for the truth." Kitty shouts that he's one of them, and Peter says, "Yeah, well, it's a bit complicated, but I've been working on our treatment and I haven't killed anyone in a long time. I was so close to saving Logan, saving the world, and saving my own soul." Kitty is still hesitant about helping, but Peter hands her a wooden stake.
Alright, so now we've got all the details that we want to put in for the buildings and background and the main Spider-Man on his pattern on his shirt. I wanted to sort of mess around with the tools that you can see me using, because I've lowered the air opacity on this now, so I can just sort of faff around what colours I could use, because I didn't want it to look nice and happy with the blue sky and green grass. I kind of wanted to look at a bit more dead looking. Again, it's more of an apocalypse thing. I add a little bit more detail to this, but again, I'm just straight lining tool, making it faff in it, making it look, getting the right colours. I didn't colour pick anything this time. Normally I'll colour pick and add a little splotch at the underneath, but I didn't do any of that this time. And just thought, I'm just going to see what I can do, what tools I can use. We're in the texture tools now, and you've got like grass, you've also got a bit of foliage, you've got all sorts of different tools. You want to go and check them out. You want to have a play with every single tool in Krita or whatever app you're using, just to see what they're all like, really, and what they all do for you. I use the grass tool a hell of a lot to do things what I'm doing. And yeah, we're going to get all of that colouring sorted out.
She can just phase this into his head and it'll kill him, since he can't eat her anyway because of her abilities. But time is short. They need to get a sample of this world's Logan's blood now. Back in the Fight Club, both Logans are going back and forth, slashing and cutting away at each other until Kitty and Peter show up. Logan quickly turns to kill Peter, but before he can, Zombie Logan stabs Logan through the back. Kitty jumps into action, holding the stake in her hand and stabbing it down into Zombie Logan's head, but she only managed to stab his eye. He smacks her away, stating that he's pretty sure he has something in his eye, and then Logan gets...
Save. Now, I do not know what happened to this part of the video. I'm just quickly putting it in so you can see I actually did it over live on the Twitch channel. If you want to see me do this, again, you can go and check it out over on my Twitch channel. That's Twitch /Flute084 Art and Games. Same name, different place. I am sorry that this part of the video did mess up, but it was just me putting in all the other colours for the rest of the thing, again on different layers. And you can see now on the right hand side of the page that I actually coloured my layers. One, because I wanted to know which one was the lined layer and which was the color layer. Again, it's another thing that can help you if you get confused with everything having the same name, or if you just want to sort of quickly go between each layer, and helps you really to sort of differentiate between them. You can do that again in the tabs just above the, right click it and choose a color. I just use green and blue in this one, but there's multiple different colors if whatever colors help you out. We're adding in the we've gonna put, again, we've right clicked, gone and searched and found the color mask or quick color mask, whichever works for you. To that will stop you actually going over the line past where you've already colored this. Again, this is why we have different layers, because if we had all the color on the same layer, you wouldn't be able to do this with the color mask. So it helps you do the dimensions. If you're doing a little bit of shading here and there, helps you do dimensions and keep that shading in one specific area instead of having to go, like I was in other videos, going around the whole thing and having to delete things. You just saw me there. I'm trying to figure out which layer was actually on. I get confused sometimes on what layer I'm trying to use, but the colouring mask does do its job. You see me faffing when I get around to doing that, but it does help. It does help a lot when you use a colour mask. To actually, there you go. I'm not going over the lines there, and I'm actually doing the same thing. So if I wanted to only have, like you see me here, if you only wanted it in one particular area, like on the red on the skeleton, you don't have to delete or use a really fine small tool just to be faffing around. It takes a lot of time off you if you're trying to get it done, like I am on this live stream on the Twitch. Just trying to get all the main details and get it finished. So, wanted to put a little bit of blood, a little bit of toning and shading and things like that. I really think this one came out pretty well. Again, if you want a copy of this one, it is on my Etsy channel, Etsy, ETSY shop, Loot 084 creation. If you want to go and check this out, you can have this for your phone background or your PC wall background. I've done a couple so far, but if you have a particular thing that you want to put on, please let me know before ordering. You can also come over to Instagram and TikTok if you want to chat to me over there, or what sizes your phone is, because I have had problems in the past where I've sent them pictures out and they haven't fit your phone properly. Definitely let me know in either the comments down below, or anything else that I mentioned as an Etsy and TikTok, or you can private message on every single social media. But yeah, let's get some of that shading in and get it done.
Rip Zombie Logan's insides out. Logan turns back to Peter, telling him that he has 1 second to explain what's going on. 10 minutes later, Logan says, "This is pretty nuts even by my standards." As Peter leaves with the sample and Zombie Logan, Kitty and Logan watch as Kitty asks what should they do now. And Logan says, "Maybe grab some grub? I kinda worked up an appetite." After witnessing the destruction of his newfound home as well as the woman that he loved, Bruce Banner, the Hulk, has returned from space to destroy the worlds of those who first exiled him. He jumps down into the blue area of the moon above Earth to begin carrying out his revenge. And as he bursts into the palace of the royal family, he calls out to Black Bolt to come and face him. But what he sees is that the palace is scattered with parts of bodies. From the shadows, Medusa tells him that he does not want this fight. And as he gets closer, he sees Black Bolt and Medusa as zombies. Hank appears behind him, telling him, "Thanks for stopping by. We were starved for some company." Hank punches down on the Hulk, and in the distance, the survivors of the Hulk's planet appear, shouting that they will protect their king. But one blast from Black Bolt's sonic powers blows everyone away, allowing the zombies to feed on them. Hulk jumps up as Hank begins eating and punches him across the face. Hulk then picks up Elio and begins to run outside, and just as they are clear, Elio notices something on Hulk's arm. They both look at the bite marks, and the Hulk begins to call out to the hunger, and he rips Elio in two, and he begins to devour her, and when he's finished, he looks towards Earth. After taking his ship down, the Hulk begins eating through the people of Manhattan. While Earth's armies try to fight him off, Sentry flies in telling Bruce to forgive him, and he blasts him through a building, punching and beating him down, telling the Hulk that this greatly pains him. But the Hulk then changes back to Bruce, telling him, "Wait, you just don't understand. This hunger, Sentry changes back and he tells him, whatever this is, we're gonna find a way to fix it. And just then, Bruce leaps up, biting Sentry in the arm, and then he changes into his uniform, stating, I understand now. Meanwhile, Zombie Peter watches, stating that this just keeps getting worse and worse. He's going to need backup, and right now, it's time for the Avengers to dismember. Over in the Avengers Tower, several of the now turned zombies sit around discussing their #1 kill. With the world destroyed and mostly eaten, the zombies have to pass time sitting around talking about their glory days when the zombies' armies all fought each other. But while Hank continues to work trying to figure out the Watcher's device to unlock the rest of the multiverse, the hunger alert goes off. Quicksilver runs over to Professor X's body, which is still hooked up to Cerebro, and sees that there is some fresh human meat that they missed over in the Savage Land. Everyone loads up in the...
Alright, and we're done. Just adding in the last little bit. I wanted to add a little bit of shading. Shading. A little bit of fog to it. I thought I'd help bring it all together. But there is the original picture we were working with, and I did all that by sketching and using Copic markers. Again, I didn't think there was enough detail in there. The digital one isn't again it's looking a bit, I might have to tweak it here and there, but I think it's looking okay. Well, we've gone from the main picture to the digital character on the single layer. And then we've added the background to all of that. You saw me do that in the video this time. We're adding all the background. Again, we're doing on this background, there is the main character layer. Then there's the second layer, which is like, I would say, foreground. And then we've got the midground layer. And then we've got a background layer. And then there'll be other layers for each and every layer to do the colouring and also the shading. But we use clipping masks this time to get all the shading and some of that fog that I was saying about. Hopefully you have enjoyed doing this video. If it's been helpful to you, please let me know by leaving a thumbs up in the thumbs up space. If you're new, hit that subscribe button, and if you want to find out when the next video is going to be uploaded, you can hit that bell and it'll notify you when it does upload. Otherwise, you can come over to my Twitch channel weekly. It sort of depends on which day I'm able to do. But I do a lot of digital art over there. But if you don't want to go over there, you can always stay here, and there will be an uploaded video or shortened video, me explaining what I did here on the YouTube. Otherwise, guys, thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye for now. Thank you very much for watching, guys. If you are interested, don't forget you can check out these videos, this video, or any others in the playlist. Go to Creation Station for artwork, or if you go to playlist, there's loads more for you to check out. Otherwise, thanks for watching once again, and I'll see ya again next time. Bye for now.